What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the channel, watching the video. Today we are making whole wheat bread. You know, I'm not using my bread maker. I do love me some bread maker, but we're going to make it the old-timey way, and well, sort of the old-timey way. We're going to use the KitchenAid and make a whole wheat bread. This does not have white flour in it. A lot of wheat breads have a little bit of white flour to help with the gluten. This is 100% whole wheat, and it's sweetened with honey, so it's got a nice, sweet, natural flavor to it. It's an earthy bread. But anyway, we're going to do it in the KitchenAid, let it rise, put it in the pan, and bake it the old-timey way. So here comes the recipe for whole wheat honey bread. If you guys are not subscribers, take a second, hit that subscribe button down below. We'd love to have you as a member. So here comes the recipe, guys. Thanks for watching. First thing we want to do is take a cup of water and 1/4 cup of milk. Mix that together. We want to zap that in the microwave until it's warm, 30 seconds or so. Stick your finger in there. You want it above above body temperature, but not hot. So I like 110-ish, around in there. The milk and water, perfectly good temperature. Not hot, not lukewarm, but just a little above that. It takes about 30 seconds in my microwave. I don't have a super strong microwave, but about 30 seconds. You just want it warm to activate the yeast, which is what we're going to do right now. So in the bowl of our mixer, we're going to put our milk and water that's warm. We are going to add 3 tablespoons of honey. And remember the trick. If you're measuring it like that, spray it first with vegetable spray and your honey comes out much better and much cleaner. See, watch it. You see it? It's just cleaning right off. All right, good enough. And then we're going to put 1 tablespoon of yeast. Now what we're going to do is we're going to proof the yeast. We're going to prove that yeast is alive. So we're going to mix this together and let it sit there for a little bit and make sure it starts bubbling and gets foamy and frothy. If it doesn't, then that means your yeast is dead. Which sometimes the yeast is dead. I've used it on a bread maker and the bread doesn't rise. And you know, in a bread maker, you don't proof your yeast. You just put it in there and hope it's alive. And it's been dead, but what can you do after that point? All right, so let's let that set for about 10 minutes or so. We're going to come back and look at it. All right, guys, it's been about 10 minutes. If you look inside, you can see that there's like bubbling. The yeast is getting frothy, so we have proven that that yeast is alive. So to this, we are going to add 3 cups of whole wheat flour. 1, 2, 3 cups of whole wheat flour, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and about 4 tablespoons of butter cut up into chunks. All right, we're going to put on our dough hook, raise it up, lock it in first, raise it up. Now we're going to put this on medium hook, starting out at low speed for about 8 minutes. So. All right, guys, this has been about 8 minutes worth of kneading. And that's what it looks like. It's a little bit different than a regular all-purpose flour dough because the consistency is different. You're going to notice this. The dough should be slightly sticky, but it should pull apart like that. If it's too wet when you're kneading, add a couple of tablespoons of flour at a time. I did add about 2 extra tablespoons of flour, and that stiffened the dough up perfectly. We've already dirtied a bowl, so let's just spray this with oil. We'll take our dough, turn it onto the oiled side, Spray the other side, just like that. Now you have an oiled bowl, oiled dough in a bowl. And so we're going to cover this with plastic wrap. And this is going to go into a warm place. If you have a warm place, great. We don't. Mike likes the house cold, so we don't have a warm place in this house. So this is my secret. We have a pot of boiling water. You can see the steam coming off of it, and an oven that is off. And that creates a nice warm environment. So on that top rack, I'm just going to set my yeast. Remember, the oven is off. We're getting the heat from this pot of boiling water. And you want to let that rise till it's about double in bulk, and it usually takes about an hour. All right, guys, it's been about an hour, and there's our bread, nice and puffy. It's risen. It's not going to rise like a white dough where it's like that, because it is a heavy, whole wheat's heavy. So we're going to put a little bit of flour. You can use whole wheat as a bench flour. I don't want that. I'd rather have white flour. So I got this little mat, this pastry mat from Temu, and it was like $1, and it is the best little mat. I was like so happy to find that. Now at this point, I'm not going to work it very much. I kind of want to spread it out a little bit. And we got a pan that's already prepared. So we have a 9x5 pan. And of course, I've lined it with parchment paper. So what I'm going to do is pat it out to about the size of the pan. Now, a lot of things they say just shape it into a roll and throw it in there. It just doesn't work that well for me. And I kind of roll it like this. I don't know if this is the right way or not, but I think it gives the bread a better structure when you roll it. Like that. So we're going to put that right in here. This is going to go back into our steamy oven for about another hour and let it rise, and then we'll bake it right after that. All right, this has risen for about 45 minutes. We're ready to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 35 to 45 minutes until it's done. All right, this just came out of the oven. We do want to check this for doneness. Now, you can do the thump test. Sounds great. But another way is to check the internal temperature. If you can see it on the camera. We want it to be 190. So poke it through. Takes a sec. Yeah. All right, it's at 190. So we are going to call that done. We're going to let this cool in the pan for about 20 minutes or so. But we do want to brush the top with butter just to make it nice and pretty. I'm going to do this without burning myself. So we're just going to run the stick of butter over the top of it. If you want a real crusty top, I wouldn't do this. It's got a nice crust to it, but I like the butter. All right. So now we're going to let this cool for about 20 minutes or so in the pan, take it out, and let it cool completely. All right, the loaf has cooled. It's almost cool, not quite. I did take it out of the pan when it was a little bit cooler, about 20 minutes in. We'll go ahead and cut a piece. Cuts beautifully. You can see the interior of it. Nice. When you roll it out and then roll it this way, you get the rings almost that show in the bread. It just gives a nice structure to it, okay? So let's give it a taste. All right, first we got to smell, You can definitely smell that whole wheat smell, which I love. And you get a little bit of honey and everything in it, so let's give it a taste. I love whole wheat bread. That earthy flavor to it. So great, easy recipe to me. If you want to try homemade bread, it's relatively easy. It's not the easiest, not easier than a bread maker, but look at that pull on that. Nice. I could eat a lot. I could eat half that loaf. Anyway, guys, that's my recipe for whole wheat honey bread made the old-timey way without a bread maker. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, I should be out of this cold and I'll get my voice back more so than it is now. Thanks again for watching. If you're not subscribers, take a second, hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much to us. You guys be safe out there, but above all, be kind to each other.